We wanted to start with a brief introductory activity just to get to know you guys a little better on a personal note, get comfortable, get warmed up, and then we're going to go into discussing some of the questions that you both presented us in a case because we think they really tie into some of our proposals for you both. And we want that to be a little bit more open. We have some ideas, but we would love your feedback in the middle of that discussion. And then we'll have a quick break. There's restrooms, water. We've got everything we need. I learned from working with kindergartners that you should always have a break when you have a 2-hour presentation. I think it's really important, so we'll try to keep that. And when we come back from that, we'd like to go into what we have decided we believe are your critical success factors for your business. You may or may not agree, but we have a few proposals that we'd like to present. First is traffic control, second is accessibility and usability, and third is validity and trust, and we'll explain those more in detail. And then hopefully there'll be a little time to wrap up and get feedback from you both about whether or not what we presented was useful, so that in our report and Edumentary, which we're going to give to you at the end of, or I guess in a couple days, we can present the things that we may have left out in this time. Please say your name, where you're from, and then if you can travel anywhere in the world tomorrow, just pick up and leave. Nothing, don't consider work, don't consider visas, anything like that, not even money. Where would you go and why? And so does anyone want to start?
I think you should start.
So my name is Jessica. I'm from San Francisco, born and raised, right in the city. And if I could go anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would I go? I would go to Cuba.
So my name is Cristina, I'm Spanish, and I really want to go to Spain.
My name is Bronson. I'm from Florida and New York and Colorado and all over the U.S. But I like to keep people guessing. If I could fly anywhere tomorrow, I would go to Rincon, Puerto Rico, because my friend has a surf shack on the beach and my cell phone doesn't work, so that's all I want.
Alright, I'm Dmitry from Russia. I would go, I think, to either Miami or mountains.
Hi, my name is Anatoly. I'm originally from Russia, from Siberia, but I spent a lot of my lifetime in Italy. I lived in Rome, in Modena. I would like to go to Japan. Haven't been there.
My name is Mila. I'm Russian as well as the most two guys. And I believe if I had a chance to escape from this British weather, I would go somewhere to California probably.
As you know, my name is Doriana. I'm from Italy. And if I could get the chance to have 1 month off, I will definitely organize a massive trip. Fly tomorrow, like directly to California, and then Mexico. I'd love to meet Ruben. My great friend is Mexican. And then Peru. Nice. I'm dreaming.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eliana. Elena is just a nickname I use, so please call me Eliana. I'm from Italy, south of Italy. I spent like few years of my life in Milan. And then I moved to London, and my dream is to visit Asia. So we'll go from the other side, opposite from Doriana, actually.
Your first question was, in which other ways could MindTheFlat support the company marketing strategy, considering its competitive target market, private landlords?
We start with contacts with the new Mayor's London rental standard that he's rolling out, and we form contacts with the UK landlords, and I know you already set up meetings, and you already do an advertisement with, I believe it's the NLA. And they have meetings all across London every month. So if you start meeting with them, and then there's other options to form business-to-business contacts. I have a fair amount of friends who've moved here or been relocated here by Amazon. They just moved, say, 1,700 people here. So if you form business-to-business contacts and start doing relocation services for employees being moved here, I think that's a pretty valuable option to secure your relevance with a bunch of landlords around the city. Creation of basically much more compelling content on your website through your blogs, and creation of infographics to guide people through the step-by-step process of finding an apartment here, the step-by-step process of how to make it through your website. And you already have important things on your site, such as the video and the cartoon, to kind of walk you through the London rental market, and sort of things like that can be even improved. And how much did that cost you, by the way?
The video? Around 200 or 300. Yeah, 300
200 or 300 pounds. Okay, that's pretty good for what you. I had an option that a friend of mine just did for a website, And it was 9,000 in the US, so it's much different than our
Oh.
pitching. But it's something that's already been shared virally, and that's something that can get shared across the social networks. And if it's something that's compelling and interesting, that drives people to your site from an outward source, which you guys are already aware of that. But creating more basically visual content. Visual data is processed by the brain 60,000 times faster than text, and I know a lot of your blog posts are very text heavy. So if you go to, say, Infogram, which is a link that I have here, we'll share all these links with you afterwards. But Infogram is a cheap place to basically create your own infographic. You can just drop in on an Excel sheet numbers, and then it gives you colors, and it gives you images and everything, and you can build a beautiful infographic to put on the homepage of your website, which is something that if you share that via your blog and it goes out to the social networks, that's something people will click on, think is cool in the UK, and that drives someone else to your site. Yeah. So the more you create content on your site, the more you drive people to it, that's what gets shared, and that's what's free marketing for you. You know, you can find on Gumtree a writer that'll work for $1 a word. If you just find someone outside to create a compelling story about a London event. You start with, you know, just on your landing page, you have the images of spare room, or find a room, find a flat, rent a flat, whatever you want. If you just have the images and you have quick click-throughs to that, and then you just have the video, and then people have to follow through and track through your blog and they read everything, I think that's much more compelling than having the big list on your homepage. You know, you scroll down and you have, you know, the kind of word description of what your site does, and then you have the word breakdown. I think imagery is the big thing to really bring people in, and that's how you, again, back to the inbound marketing strategy. If someone's brought from an infographic that you've created, they're much more likely to go to your website and share it and have interest in that.
So it's get people stay on our website. But if every time that I had to look in a page, I had to put yes or no, or just jump on it, after a while we get bored.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm not saying that you have to always click on something. It's just nice to get a lot of visual data.
I really think that you need to keep the model you have, do advertisement rather than try to charge for just login or for just finding like a room to rent a room there.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Why did you identify a B&B as our competitor?
Because Airbnb is like an American company. Right now they are increasing their database as well, and they are renting actually flats and houses. It's not like long time, they are focused more on short time, but actually 80% of people, I found like 80% of people who are traveling like for 15 days, 1 month, they are renting through this page. In my opinion, you need to change how customers access additional service. I mean, rather than have there like a really wide variety of different cleaners, for example, plumbers, electricians, try to keep the most reliable one and the most who are having like the better quality at same as price. I agree, but we need to balance, which is the most important thing here. The most important is like lead competition, or the most important thing is increase the brand recognition at this point. If I take one service of one page, I'm gonna tell everyone, look, this is good, because so it's not only like just only about the web page. It's about people are speaking. Like
when you asked us about what kind of investments you should do and if you should bring a third-party partner, we think exactly that you should bring this guy, who is very good at wires, computers, kind of a computer geek, and to show you the value of this guy, we think, you know, one of the options is to give him a high percentage, like maybe even a third of the company, because that will just show you how important this guy for you. Where you can find him, there are lots of conferences and some options we're giving here, the two options here. These are conferences, the once in a month, they go in Germany, anywhere in all European countries. And you can meet these kind of guys right there.
Yeah,
we don't think that the pure cash is a viable option now, sorry, because the reasons are there is not much like assets or stable turnover, so the value of the company, how you're going to ask for what kind of money, how you're going to justify it is going to be difficult.
Okay, let me summarize. You're suggesting us to give 1/3 of my company,
Yeah.
IT guy.
That's right. He's a partner
Is a partner.
who's going to develop.
It's someone you'd have to vet very well. I mean, it'd be obviously a long-term thing from now. It'd be a vetting process of spending a year or two and meeting
And
people.
what about the other option? It's like I'm looking for someone who's gonna put in cash
Right.
in my company
Yeah.
and provide me an IT guy.
Well, assets, I don't think.
We need
there's
to add
much, and there's
value.
a-
We need to add value before we are looking for someone who are gonna pay us like
Maybe
this amount of
friends
money.
or family, yeah.
Maybe friends or but if I will, in my case, I wouldn't pay 200 pounds right now according to this data I have here. So
How would you test this person and say this is the right person? What process would you go through?
start first of all working on your company for a couple of months like an employee, and then if it works, if he puts in the company puts in these things, like take him. If not, if it doesn't work, like get away. That's it.
Money in business is everything.
Yeah.
If you don't have money, you can't employ anyone. You can even advertise somehow or get the meeting with landlords. So what they've been talking till now is just talking.
Yeah.
Right now is like, shall we look for money or shall we look for someone who could work with us and maybe put some money on it, or like don't get paid? This one was, our dilemma.
Yeah.
So as soon as I understand what you are doing, is you have like one company who is working on your web page, and you are hiring like this SEO to another company, or I'm wrong?
The SEO process is like make all your content
I know what it is.
interesting for your target Google, because the point is Google wants that if you look for, I don't know, nice place to live, only the best company has to come up, the best website. Unfortunately, it's not really the truth. I mean, at the end, the number of visitors that makes the rank in Google. But to start with, you have to start writing tags and write content that has to be interesting for the robots of Google. They don't really understand if that is a fake content or not, but that's the way you do it. So it's nothing to do with the programming of the website. It's just trying to put in your website the keywords and
Optimize it.
optimizing the.
It's exactly the opposite.
Yeah, if you read like The Guardian or like all the major newspaper in the UK, they always mention spare room, because they truly work with landlords, they truly do job to help them and to help tenants. They don't have the same amount of people, the traffic, but they have quality in their website.
money.
They really work on it. They do like rental index every month, like to inform that that's what we want to be. But the thing is that to be free, you have to have lots of visitors. So that's the challenge. Like to be good in quality, but at the same time to be very, to be big and to have lots of visitors. So
Yeah, I like your idea on site to provide information about different areas of London, yeah. But it's so wordy, seriously, like I give up after several sentences. It would be probably better if you have some visuals, like here is like, I don't know, price level in this area, like security in this area, whatever, so you will have this, and I just go and check.
So would you prefer more just pictures
Sure,
or
yeah,
graphs?
definitely, yeah. Idea is good, but it doesn't work. I mean, at least for me.
But in which section you're talking about?
I'm talking. I will tell you more when I.
Okay.
No, anyway, but I'm
We're gonna
talking
use
about
ability
section.
stuff,
You wanted to differentiate yourself.
Okay, yeah. How?
Where to provide information about areas of London.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
background, it's on your site, but it's the whole text, and it's hard to.
For the sake of time,
Perhaps to speak about what assets do they have?
What assets? They have office. They have
You do have to.
What economy do we live in?
Website.
See, that's what worries me about the Latino culture sometimes. Is see, I left it 200 years ago. My name still hangs on to it, but the rest is gone. There are assets that they're building up. Whether they are or not, I don't know. but I don't know what you're capturing. Are you capturing any information?
Customer data, that's what you mean, huh?
Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. You talk to me about Google and search engines. Well, they don't, then you're going to start to tell me that they're building a ship with transmission towers on it and they have wonderful buildings, etc. Well, that's what they want investors to come and get there. But at the moment, they have nothing hard, but they have, and if they're not, they need to be careful. But you have certain experiences that you've been capturing, what, for a year, 18 months? I don't know. Whether it's all valuable or not, I have no idea, because I haven't seen all of it. I've only seen what you could let go in the case study, right? Because the question is, who's going to invest in them for what? Because that's what you need.
You're investing in for user data.
That's the
and
first thing.
properties.
That's the first question. Probably no one at the moment. I'll offer you the answer. If you're looking for investors, just going to give you money, they want 5 times the rate of return within 18 months of the money they put in. Private venture cap, if you're lucky, you get a business angel fool, but I'm not sure there are many of those around in recessionary times. In the States, they are different. So I don't know if folks know those who might be interested in the US or your contacts have. But the whole funding structure is different in the US. Okay. London has touches of the US in it just because of the informal networks, but not because of any conscious culture that we have over here. So the question is, what type of investment partner, given the assets you have, are the people you need to have conversations with?